Annual event right now that takes place at the Tech Village here in North Conway. It is the Mount Washington Valley Science Fair. And right now we have a few of its competitors from this year. We've got Sara, who is an 8th grader at the Kennett Middle School. We have Noah and Max, who are 9th graders at Kennett High School. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
We were talking off air. You guys have really busy schedules. It's amazing today's student how much they do. You guys are in the drum line. You guys, you're in 4 different activities, including drama. You play the flute.
Of course, yeah.
We just thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come on our show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the Science Fair. Who wants to tell me in just a few words, what is the Science Fair?
Science Fair is basically when you get to choose your own like questions that you want to figure out, and you'll get your answers from your questions.
So the scientific method, so to speak. So you're putting a hypothesis out there about something, and you're doing the research and the study to see if this hypothesis is true or not. Now, you guys have been, I understand that this event is open to starting with 7th graders, is that right?
Correct.
So from 7th grade on, so you've already done this 1 year, you guys have already done this 2 years. Mm-hmm. How do you guys decide, when your teacher comes to you and says, okay, Science Fair time, you need to think of a project. How did you decide what you were going to do? We'll start with you, Sara.
Well, I was sitting down with my parents, and I was like, oh, well, we're going to get another storm. There's going to be plows. And then I was thinking,
a light bulb
salt.
went on.
I was like, idea. And how does salt affect plant growth in the Mount Washington Valley?
And where are you on your research right now? What's the status of your project?
I'm ending my experiments right now, and I am doing my abstract and my background research.
All right. Now, what was your did you have a hypothesis, and how are you doing your study? How are you researching this?
My hypothesis was that my pure snow is going to grow higher than my salt sediment snow. So my experiment was I would take sunflower seeds as a model, and I would grow them in 2 different categories: salt sediment snow from the banks in the Mount Washington Valley, and also pure snow that has not been plowed before. I melted it to make water, and I watered the plants with the 2 categories, and to my surprise, the salt sediment snow is growing taller by 3 centimeters.
Really?
Than the pure snow.
Now, you said this is to your surprise, so you probably, did you hypothesize the opposite?
Yes, I did. I thought the pure snow would grow taller than the salt sediment snow.
All right. Well, it sounds like you may have another science project on your hand after this to figure out why this is the case. And now, what about you guys? You guys have done this 2 years previous. What have you done in the past, and how did you decide on your project for this year?
In the past, I worked with non-Newtonian fluids, which, yeah, it's kind of a scary thing to think about first. But basically, a non-Newtonian fluid it acts like a fluid.
Yep.
But as soon as large amounts of force are applied on it, it then becomes solid, like a rock. So, like, if you mix cornstarch and water at a 2-to-1 ratio, and you get the right consistency, it looks like a liquid.
Yep.
But as soon as you punch it,
it turns solid.
As soon as you what it?
As soon as you punch it.
You punch it.
Yeah, you just punch it hard, and your hand doesn't sink in.
Wow.
Yeah, there's actually videos of people like running on top of it.
That is, I think of fluids as becoming solids at colder temperatures, but you can actually, if you apply the rate of force via a punch, it'll become a solid. Now, so is it only a solid for an instant while that force is being applied, or does it become a liquid?
Yeah, it becomes a liquid right after. If you punch it and then leave your hand there, your hand will slowly sink into it.
Wow.
But as soon as you try to pull your hand right back out.
Now, this was your project from last year.
7th grade.
7th grade.
7th grade, I worked on that.
So now, how did you decide on this year? Do you go off of past experiences? Do you guys, when you are creating your projects, do you have a goal of winning the science fair at the end, or do you actually choose a subject based on what you're interested in?
Well, us and our other partner, Klein, are in a robotics class together, and Klein had built a joystick, and then we were thinking of ideas what we could do for a science fair, and I said, well, why don't we make like a crane machine? So that's what we decided on doing, and we think it'll be pretty successful if we can get it all working.
So a robotic crane machine, which is going to solve one of the world's great problems, is those rigged crane machines at all the arcades across the country that you cannot win with those.
Oh, yeah.
So that is a major crisis that humanity is facing right now, and you guys are on the task of solving that. How is that going? Where are you guys at in your project right now?
We're just at the design process right now. We just came up with the idea like last week, so right now we're just like thinking of ideas. We're building like a new joystick, and
We've been working on the actual claw itself, you know,
Yeah.
seeing how we can find different mechanisms.
then we're gonna have to find a way to lower the claw down to grab the prizes.
So this is kind of almost an engineering
Right.
project, so to speak. Are there different, how does the fair itself work? Are you judged in different categories? Can you win prizes from this?
You can win a lot of prizes, and you are put into the regional science fair. Then you get called back if your project is very well done, and then they ask you a lot of questions on your science fair, like your hypotheses, your graphs, and everything, and then they decide from there.
That sounds fantastic. Now, what is the date of this year's event?
May 8th, 2014.
And do you know what the time of the event is?
It's all day.
All day, May 8th, which is, do you know the day of the week by any
Thursday.
chance?
Thursday.
And that's at the Tech Village, which is right in, I guess, right on the line of Conway, North Conway.
Yeah, Granite State.
North of Conway Village, but south of North Conway Village. And this sounds fascinating. So even if you are not involved in the science fair, if you don't have kids, you could be a recruiter from a major high-tech company, get a jump start, because this is some major talent that's coming out of Kennett High School and Kennett Middle School. I would like to check this out because you guys are really doing some fascinating work out there. Let's see. For your project, you were telling me earlier about what makes a good project. It's you guys are learning the scientific method, but you're also learning about project management. Tell me about that a little bit. You said your first year, it was a little bit hard to get all the work done in time, but you're learning how to manage that.
Yeah, last year for me it was kind of difficult because I was doing ocean acidification, getting everything done like really quickly because we didn't know like the timelines and how to do this, and it probably drove Mr. Bichet, our science teacher, crazy getting all of the answers to everybody's questions answered. And well, this year we kind of are handling this more like maturely, and we kind of more like understand the science fair and how it works better.
Right. And what about for you guys? Is this a fun process of making your project for the science fair? Do you look forward to this?
Yeah, the last 2 years were a little bit stressful because it was like a graded thing, so you had to get it all done by a certain date.
Yep.
With what we're doing now, it's just kind of like a fun little robotics project that we're doing in class, and we're also staying after school once a week.
All right.
Yeah, it's something we want to do on our own, you know, not just school work we have to do.
And I could probably already guess from talking to you guys through this interview, but what do you want to be? Do you have careers in mind already?
For me, I do. I want to be an environmental engineer, like fix the world's problems, and hopefully I succeed in that plan.
Well, you're off to a good start. What about you guys?
I'm kind of a little torn because I love animals, so I kind of want to be a zoologist. But I also like working with computers and technology and stuff.
That's great.
I'm just
Max?
so confused about the whole thing.
Well, the nice thing is
I have some time.
You have plenty of time. So you're in 9th grade. I'm well past the 9th grade. I still don't know what I want to
Yeah,
do.
you don't know what you want to do when you grow up.
I don't. I'm still waiting for it to grow up. Well, I want to invite you guys back on the show at some point this summer when your projects are done, because I want to find out about the results of yours, and I want to finally win at the claw game. So hopefully you guys can bring on your projects. We're looking at your website. Do you know the URL of the science fair website?
MWVSciFair.org.
MWV Scifair.org. It looks like there's lots of ribbons to be had there. Hopefully you guys pick up some prizes. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, taking some time out of your busy schedules. Again, Max Belkin, Noah Dubois, and Sara Gobashi from Gobashi?
Yes.
Gobashi. My handwriting is also not that great. From the Kennett Middle School and Kennett High Schools, the MWV Science Fair, May 8th at the Tech Village in